my stack is Azure, Microsoft,
Yeah.
right? Like in school we were taught Java, C++, C Sharp, and I was really good at like C++ and C Sharp. So I stuck with that. .NET, I went into that, SSIS, SSRS, all of that. So going into cloud, when cloud started becoming a thing, I went to Azure because that's native to me. Like I understand that.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new world. But because I'm coming from the way they used to develop on premise, I could adapt easier to how they develop on cloud.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that makes you a bit more effective, right? So pick a lane when you're starting out, when you're learning, to get really, really effective, and take something from idea to production. And when I say production, this means you are now like in the wild. Like you are not just prototyping like, oh, this thing looks nice, like, oh, like the model does what I want it to do. No, this is depending on something that you've built now. Decisions are being made based on something that you've built now. Lives are being impacted because of something that you've built. So there's a whole new set of responsibilities that comes with putting something into production. So yeah, in terms of that, that's one of the things that I would say. For students, I think that's kind of where it ends. I'd say like find a mentor maybe, because it really helps to have somebody that you can talk to that's been through the process, that can guide you, and just kind of soundboard. I do a lot of mentoring. Like I talk to a lot of students. A lot of the time they just want the first job, right? Because why did you start studying? A lot of people are studying technology because it's one of the easiest ways to start making the most money the quickest. Let's not lie. Like like straight up. But if you want to make a lot of money, then you need to do these things, like these steps, like build things out, build a portfolio, post that, share that, write an article, write or put out your project on GitHub, platforms places where people are actually looking for those kinds of projects. Make a YouTube video, like a tutorial, like create a, there's so much content out there, but your version of that same content is valuable, right? There's room for your voice. Don't think that just because everybody's made a video about SQL, you can't make a video about SQL. Just put your spin on it. Like don't put something out there that everybody's already put out there. Sometimes it's as simple as somebody like you has never done it, and just you putting out that video inspires everybody else that's like you to now come into the field, right? So don't undervalue just yourself.
The thing is, we always forget that. For the fact that we've gotten to a point like this, doesn't necessarily mean some other people are not behind us. For example, the SQL thing, you'll be surprised that people who've heard nothing about it, and it might just be your video they stumble on, like they've not seen any other person's video. So, and there will always be students, right? So you had the opportunity to see it from someone who was ahead of you, and now there will still be people coming after you. So I know people get stuck with, there are almost all you could ever think of putting out there, it's already been done. So they don't feel like, they don't feel like getting anything out there. They're not sure it would be as good as what is already out there. But again, come on, you always have students who want to learn. Probably you could simplify it more. If the other people made it a bit more technical, you can always find an easier way to explain it that people who had no idea of the concept could easily learn. There is always something you can add to it, like you've definitely said, which I've thought about that before. I just stepped in because I heard you talking about them. Like I've had this conversation with someone, I'm like, do something, just add a bit of it, just simplify it. If you want to make it simple that a 10-year-old could understand, talk about the same thing. It doesn't matter if someone has said the same thing before. I think that's awesome.